All right. Well, I might as well call the meeting to order. So are there any questions on the minutes for April 27th? If not, I need a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second. Jason and Mr. Youngman. Okay. Audience of citizens.
We're gonna vote on that.
What's that?
We're gonna vote on the motion.
Oh, I'm sorry. All in favor?
Aye.
Come on in.
Sure.
Yes, we're all staring at you. Okay. Prove that. Audience of citizens. Patrick. Oh, there's Patrick just joined. Okay.
Yeah, this is with Newfield Construction.
All right, Mike, I guess you're up. The elementary school HVAC update.
Sure, I'll start off and then Patrick can chime in.
Okay.
There were several whirlwind meetings, the last one was on Tuesday night with the Board of Finance, giving us the final approval to appropriate the funds to get Allstate going on the Willard project. Newfield was nice enough to draft a letter of intent, which we used. Lisa got that out yesterday. Allstate returned it, so they're rolling. And then I guess Patrick can add in whatever's going on, but I think we got the certificate of insurance and the W-9 today, and I think they're going to be sending the bonds either FedEx for tomorrow or for Monday, and we're going to be working on getting the contract going. I don't know if Patrick has been in touch with Allstate on any, nitty gritty items, but he can just chime in now if he has anything else to report.
No, I think you summed it up pretty well at this point. The conversations I had with them, they were ready to start rolling on getting things going with the project. So, the next big step would be the actual contract. So, but they're sending the documents in, which is good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I guess what we're going to be doing is our office is going to be teaming up with Newfield and Doug to get the contract executed. Probably, I think Jeff D'Onofrio would like to have the town manager to sign it. So Tom, if you're okay with that, we'll have Arosh execute the contract once it's ready to go. And I guess then we're rolling. It's all full steam ahead.
Okay, good. I'm fine with the Roche. I prefer her to sign it, actually. I think the town, an employee of the town should sign that stuff. Brian joined it as a citizen. All right. Well, Patrick, if you and Brian, obviously, if you need us, the PBC, to do anything, to sign anything, to meet anything, just get a hold of Lisa, and one of us or all of us will be around whenever you need something. At some point in time, I know it'll be after the contract signing, but we'll have to coordinate a meeting with the principal of the school to make sure that they're aware of what's going on. And if you need the school to do anything for us, for you, for Allstate, we got to let them know as early as possible so the stuff doesn't get dropped, especially since it's already May and we want to make sure we get as much done in the summer as we can. So
yeah, understood. We anticipate having a kickoff meeting within the next 2 weeks with Allstate. Hopefully, we'll vet everything out with them to find out what they need. And in the meantime, we'll talk to Doug and Mike in the school, and then we'll kind of have a kickoff meeting with the school personnel as well. And include Allstate so that they hear it from them as well. So, but yeah, if we need anything from you guys, we will let you know.
All right. Anything else, Mike? That's it. That's enough.
Yeah, I think I know you have an invoice from Newfield on your desk, which was it came in, I guess yesterday or the day before, so it's late breaking, but I have no objection to any of the the billing on that. And we also discussed with Newfield keeping Fryer on board during the construction phase. So Doug got a proposal from Fryer. We sent it into you guys. It's like 1650 or something around that, 16.5, something like that. The ARPA account is now tapped out. So I'm going to have to talk to Doug about and Kevin about how to fund this if you decide to go ahead. But this is for, and Brian, maybe you can kind of expand on what your experience was in the previous, you mentioned you had a previous project where it was handy to have Fryer and or CES on board during construction. And I think the fee is consistent. It was like, I think you mentioned 15,000 before for like a 1.5-year project. So I think it's a good idea, but just putting it out there to the group. Ignore Bryce's billing backup. I took a look at what he sent about the additional front end work, and the dates don't match up with my recollection of when all that work was done. So I'll work that out with Fryer. And I think that's going to be a little just extra on top of their previous work up to this date, up to basically contract award. I'd like to wrap that up too, but I have to go back and get it squared away with Bryce at Fryer.
Yeah, there's no real request here, just well, I guess technically it's an invoice. All right, I'm not used to seeing this form. So ignore this invoice for this week.
Yeah. What I asked for, he had sent a proposal in, and in it he had put a reference to additional work on the front end, which I know they did. I mean, I know it was almost like 2 rounds on the bid package. The first time was in early last year when we started kind of like getting the package together for Willard, because he wanted to have the whole front end, not just the drawings and specs together. So Scott Meswell Fryer did a bunch of work on that, and we had actually increased their PO in April of 2022 to get them the money to do it. I think they went above and beyond what they did, because then when Newfield came in, they had to do another round. So I'll work that out with them. What I want you to consider though is what are your feelings on keeping them on during construction, and when you'd like that to get formalized?
What's the exact purpose of Fryer's proposal? Are they supporting the documents, or are they construction?
And Brian and Patrick can weigh in on this, but I mean, I'm running into this on a paving job where we had a construction administration firm come in, and there were so many RFIs on the design drawings. We brought the design firm back in, and it wasn't because of anything the design firm left out. It was just substitution of materials, equipment. Can we do it this way versus that way? So it's a lot easier if you have the original designer there to answer the question versus, just us. So that's kind of the purpose. Really, for support, it would be a T&M basis. It's not a lump sum. It's just, hey, if we need you, here are our rates, with a lump, sort of an upset limit of say 16,000, something like that. CES, I would expect most of the questions to be mechanical in nature. So CES already has, I think, about $9,000 in their present scope and fee for that purpose. So we already are set up with a PO for them to keep going with CES. Fryer, their work would be on the interior stuff, restoration details, the outside stuff with the chiller, the pad, the fencing, the enclosure, and I think anything outside the building that's not pure mechanical would be on their end. So I don't know how much of that there will be, but I'm just throwing it out there. And Brian and Patrick, weigh in if you want.
So we didn't have anything in their original contract to answer RFIs or
No. And in fact, I wish we had, but they put it in as it was a separate agreement to be negotiated once the contract was awarded, for the actual HVAC contractor. So they left it as a T&M to be negotiated up the road. CES actually had that in, which was kind of nice because it's a nice package, so, and it may not be enough for CES either. I don't know if the $9,000 will take us over 2 years or a 1.5 years, but we can cross that bridge when we get to it. Fryer has nothing. They're pretty much done. Once we wrap up the, up to the contract award scope, they're done with their fee and scope as it is right now.
Except for the stuff they missed, and I want to go back and get paid for.
Yeah, we're going to have to, We still have about 2,500 left, I think, in the PO. So I'm thinking my rough number is $700 to $1,000, but we'll see when they actually give me the proper billing back up, how it all plays out.
Okay, now this letter, then, do you want me to sign it and leave it with you, and if everything goes well?
What
Okay.
letter is that?
It's from
Fryer.
Fryer.
No, do not. This is for discussion, and this just came in. So we can't sign that until we actually, I think, figure out the funding.
Yeah,
Because-
okay.
Yeah, so I would hold, I think in the next couple of weeks anyway, Allstate will be sending in submittals to Newfield. And probably, I guess CES might be involved in some of that, but I think we have some time to figure this out. I also have to figure out, not on your, it's not your problem, but it's on our side, what account to get this from if we want to go forward. So,
Okay, so I'll give this back to Lise together with Fryer's submission of
right.
some
Right.
explanation of what they built. Okay.
Yeah. And Brian, do you want to weigh in on what you would see Fryer's role be and, role being during construction and how much we're going to need them?
Yeah, I I had done that comparison for you, just based on some previous projects. I don't think their numbers were out of line, but you're right. CES is going to be the primary player because the majority of the submittals, any of the RFIs, existing conditions, changes to systems, manufacturers, et cetera, are all going to really need to go through the design engineer. Ultimately your building department, and if you're submitting any of this for reimbursement or anything, they're going to look for whoever the licensed architect or engineer is to provide you those sketches. It's not something we can do for you. You'd have to go out and hire someone different. So it makes sense to stay with the original designer. I'd say 80% of the items and the questions are going to get passed through CES, David Banks and his team. There's going to be probably a few existing conditions for top of wall or, slab, anything like that, that Fryer may need to get involved in briefly, just to give you some guidance and maybe provide you with an SK. That's really it. I mean, as far as reflected ceiling submittals and flooring submittals, I mean, again, you guys know what you want. We tried to put it in the documents to match the existing materials you have there that Doug told us about. So I really don't see Fryer having to review all that much or be a biweekly participant out there. The majority of it's going to be on CES. So
then I'm just thinking out loud, in theory, we could retain them, but we can control how much we use them, therefore how much we bill. So
yeah,
to have-
they gave you an hourly rate in their
Yeah.
proposal, which is what we see. And like Mike had suggested, maybe you just do some sort of T&M with them throughout the job, rather than, give them a lump sum, $10,000 or whatever they were looking for and not spend it. So we'll certainly do what we can to not have to use them and only rely on CES. But to the extent we do need something from Fryer, you have an hourly agreement with Bryce and his team, and they invoice you accordingly based on what was spent.
All right, well, Mike, I'll work with you on this when you recover.
Okay, thanks. Well, I appreciate your optimism on that.
How much do we have with CES, you said?
I think to me, it was a little low. It was like around 9. I'm going to get the exact
That's
number.
what I was wondering what they thought, how fast that would go.
I haven't talked to CES about this at all. For all I know, they might be billing us extra for the second go around with Newfield on the specs and the drawings in the front end, because there was some work that they did. I was kind of surprised not to get something yet. So there may be 2 discussions with CES coming up, but I'm just going to let it play out. Brian, do you have any idea, like in your past projects, what CES billing might come up to be, over the course of this project?
I would say like I said, yeah, I do think it's a little light. Not quite double what they were looking for, but it does seem a little light given what's in front of them over the, 16-month duration, give or take. So I'm trying to pull it up on my phone here now.
Yeah.
And would all their submittal reviews be billed to that 9,000? Is that covered somewhere else?
No, I thought, trying to look through their scope sheet now.
There should be any unforeseen circumstances.
Right.
And I apologize. I don't have my file with me, and I usually have all those proposals and stuff, in my big fat folder. So, thanks, Brian, for looking through it.
Yeah, I'm performance. See, if I recall looking at this, they talk about the personnel, representative responsibilities, scope of work.
And it might be seven. I know it was in the $7,000 to $9,000 range. When I looked at it, I'm like, that's not going to last for a year and a half. So, but we can, they can build down to it, and then we can discuss with them how much we need. But at least for now, there's money there for them to keep rolling along.
Yeah. See, I had said that we suggest that their scope includes attendance at some of the project meetings and possibly the PBC meetings. If there's any updates or change order reviews required, we would think you'd want to hear from them. Friars was very detailed, but they're used to giving these kind of proposals, so they break it out like that. CES didn't seem to do that in the agreement in the proposal that you had sent us. So, not saying it's not there. You just may need to clarify it with David.
Okay, and I'll take a look at it as well and give you the number and like a little recap of what their scope has in it.
All right. That horse still alive, or we beat it dead?
No, I'm okay.
All right.
I'm good.
All right, good, thanks. We have an invoice, the first draw for Bluefield's contract. It's $18,500. I need a motion for approval.
I'll motion to approve.
You can second, even though you work there.
You go ahead on this one.
I'll second.
Okay,
I wasn't sure.
I mean, you're far enough away on that, but that's okay.
Okay.
All right, Jason and Henny again. All approved?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Now, I guess Patrick and Brian, you guys can
Go home. Oh,
Go
you
watch.
are home.
go watch
Yeah.
the rain. Oh, no, you can't watch that.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you.
All
We
right.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
If you need anything, just reach out, but we'll try to get a kickoff meeting scheduled in the next week or two here, Mike. All right.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, guys.
Okay. Thanks.
Thanks.
Okay, Mike, you're still up. Locker room. Police locker room.
Locker rooms. I didn't check with Brian on his progress, but I think he's still cruising along. He's gotten paid. Both invoices, I believe, are processed and paid from the last meeting, which was just like what, a week and a half ago, it seems like. So as far as I know, things are going ahead. I was delinquent. I should have gotten in touch with him this week, but I've just been a little out of sorts. So I will tell you what, I'll touch base with him and give you an update after this meeting. I thought maybe he would join us, but we sent him the agenda, but we got nothing back. So hopefully he's working furiously with his team on his bid package. But he's still, I think, on schedule for the end of this month to be ready.
Didn't expect anything, quite honestly. All right. Moving along. We may get the Salminos record. Any new business?
Not gonna happen.
Just make something up.
Go back in your cave there.
You were just making sure I was still awake. I got you.
Sorry, your microphone's not working. Any old business? All right,
Close out
and then
status.
I guess the closeout status, I'm sure we'll hear whenever we hear. I'm gonna stop asking. Somebody will come running around and say, hey, did you hear? So. And we need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Salmino voted nay, even though he
Nay.
said. All right,
Minutes.
Have a good night, everyone.
very good, thanks.
Have a
Thank
good
you.
night.
Michael,
Take care.
Feel better.
All right, guys, take care. See you next time.
Adjourned.